Hi everyone, this is Molly McCord, and welcome to my new series where I talk about the significant astrology transits throughout your life. In the previous video, we reviewed astrology transits from age 7 to 20. Now we're going to talk about the astrology transits in your 20s. Now, please know that general ages are given here, and that can fluctuate due to the transiting planets going into retrograde. It does not include all the transits to your natal planets, because that is much more in depth. That would be a deeper analysis in a personal session. So these are just generalities. I don't show you Jupiter trine Jupiter, and the Chiron trine is not shown because of the irregular orbit of Chiron. Chiron spends longer time in some signs than others. So in your 20s, you begin and enter the world with transiting Saturn squaring your natal Saturn. Now, if you are perhaps graduating from college or you're starting a new job, this is where the rubber hits the road in the real world and something comes up to show you your responsibilities, your commitments, where you need to mature and grow. This is a time in one's life when you do have more responsibility. Perhaps you have your first job, your first house, you have something that you must take care of. And the square, transiting Saturn square, requires effort, discipline, and time. So this is a maturing energy as around 21 years of age or so. And it's meant to help you acclimate to this new decade of your life, to step into a new sense of self, a new self-identity, and to know where your responsibilities are. Because the square can be challenging, but if you do the work and show up, well, it will pay off. Now, also in your early 20s, you have what's called transiting Uranus squaring your natal Uranus. Uranus is about independence. It's our sense of self, where we want freedom. We want to do something our way. This could be simply, I don't want to live with anyone else. I don't want any more roommates. I don't want to live with my family. I want my own place. Uranus is where we want to break out, where we want to do something on our own terms. And so this is an interesting juxtaposition of energies, because this could be happening at the same time, where you have this sense of independence and I don't want to be held back. I don't want anyone's rules or restrictions holding me back. But you could also have it at the same time as the Saturn square, which means you have to listen to what other people are requiring of you. So in the early 20s, we get a new understanding of our sense of self. And we get the understanding that, well, I'm here to do something and I want to do it. And maybe you're done with school or you're done with something and you want to get out, but there can be a tension here around how to do that responsibly and in a way that ultimately serves you. But there can be that restlessness. This is a restlessness energy. Now, in your mid-20s, you can experience as well transiting Chiron opposing natal Chiron. Now, this can show up anytime throughout your mid-20s because, again, Chiron has an irregular orbit, which means it could be earlier in your 20s or later. But Chiron opposing the natal Chiron can be difficult because it can feel like you're vulnerable, you're emotional. This could be the quarter life crisis. This could be that I don't know what to do. I don't know who I am. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to choose. You would look at the house placement of natal Chiron, which is what you're healing, because the opposition of transiting Chiron will stretch you. It will feel like something's against you. It can feel very trying. But you're meant to see the other side of something. You're meant to see more of a story, an idea, a possibility, a part of your life that you didn't see before. But this can be hard. And again, this could be happening while this is happening, or while this is happening. So you see how your early 20s, there can be a lot going on as you figure out the world, your place in it. What do I want to do? Where do I want to live? What profession do I want? I mean, you could even have this realization that life is not what you thought it was, and that you feel clueless. That's what this energy does. You feel clueless. You're like, I know nothing. I did all this. I went to school, I moved here, I lived here, and I still have no idea what I want to do. You can feel lost during this transit. Now, what happens at the same time, potentially, around 24 years of age, is you have a Jupiter return. And that happens every 12 years, and that's where Jupiter returns to its natal placement in your chart, and it brings abundance, good luck, good developments, manifestations, reward. Jupiter is where things happen easily. So it could be, too, that the Jupiter return frees you from some of this or from something here. Jupiter return brings in opportunities, clarity, aha, yes, I want that. It can bring in joy and just a sense of, okay, it's not always going to be a struggle. So that does support you during your mid-20s. And it could be something that shows you more of who you really are and what you really value. It does depend on where natal Jupiter is in your chart, of course, and what sign it's in. But this can be that good luck energy of things turning around. Now, late in your 20s, you then experience transiting Uranus trining natal Uranus. Remember, Uranus is where you want to break out and you want freedom. And now it's in a trine, which is beneficial and flow and like, I've got this. Okay, I understand here. So this energy, the trine, rewards you for the square. Because the square was hard and you had to fall in line or do something that was forced upon you, or unexpected change happened here. But with this transiting Uranus, trining your natal Uranus in your late 20s, you get that sense of, I know who I am, what I want, this is who I'm going to be, this is what I'm going to follow. It's important to know whatever house placements and astrological signs are involved, but this is the energy of understanding the way ahead, breaking free, breaking out, sense of self, sense of understanding, sense of all of this. If there was hardship here, I have more answers here. And then perhaps you've heard of the Saturn return. It happens between 28 and 30 years of age. It's where Saturn returns to your placement in the chart where natal Saturn is located. And the Saturn return is after it's completed a full cycle around your full chart, and it brings in something that matures you. It's a turning point, a transition into adulthood, because all of your 20s could have brought up a lot of uncertainty or not knowing or feeling clueless or feeling lost, or even if all of this was actually okay, you could be ready for something new. At the Saturn return, depending on where Saturn is in your chart, something happens where you step into more of the fullness of yourself, what you've learned, what you've accomplished, what you want, where you're going next. People can do something like get married, move, change careers, have a baby. They do something in their life that matures them. They buy a house, or they understand a different career track. It's something quite tangible often, and it's meant to mature you, because that's what the Saturn return is about. So there's a lot that unfolds in your 20s. And again, these are not all of the energies, but they are the significant ones that everyone goes through. And you could have more operating in the backdrop that adds even more layers to this. But this helps you see that the turmoil and the questions that you experience in your early to mid-20s are guiding you forward. And it can't be rushed. It's part of a process. It's part of taking it one day at a time and moving forward. But when you get to this trine, Uranus trining Uranus, you break out and break free. And then you get the Saturn return, where there's a pivot in your life. You change significantly and step into more of who you are, your responsibilities, your sense of self, your confidence, and where you want to go next. So in the next video, I'm going to share with you the significant astrology transits in your 30s, and I hope you will meet me over there in that video soon.